Hey guys, and welcome to our third State of the Channel update. These come out quarterly, and I've aimed to try to get these out on the third day of each third month. Just because the first two videos happen to fall on the same day. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and be consistent about this, shall we? What is the purpose of the State of the Channel update? It's exactly like it sounds. As always, we're going to talk about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going with the channel. So, first of all, let's hop right in and talk about where we've been. So, over the past 3 months, a lot has happened with the channel itself. I've added a welcome video, which happened almost immediately after I did the last State of the Channel. I realized very, very quickly after seeing some other channels that I needed to put something in there so people know exactly what to expect walking into the channel for the first time. I know it does not reflect on YouTube apps, but it is on the PC version, so hopefully that's been helpful to some of you who have subscribed to the channel. Also, I've created a new banner at the top of the page that shows on, I believe, all apps and versions of YouTube. It will be showing on the left side the games that I am currently working on, as well as the games on the right that I'm going to be working on. I'll try to update those to be as current as possible. I might miss it occasionally, but overall, hopefully it'll give you an idea as to what you can be expecting in the near future. Now, that list on the right of games that are coming up, do not immediately dismiss that as the only things I'm going to be playing. If you have ideas, or if you have a game that you really, really want to see played, drop it in the comments, shoot me a message on Twitter, something. Let me know what you're interested in, and I can let you know if I can either move that into a nostalgia play eventually, or if I've never played the game itself, that I can move it into my blind lineup. That lineup is not set in stone and can change over time. Next up on the major changes over the last 3 months, video editors. The very fundamental process of editing my videos has changed as well. I've actually converted from Lightworks to DaVinci Resolve. Lightworks, though fundamentally very powerful, was not super user-friendly for my type of editing. So I've switched over to DaVinci Resolve, which has seen some significant ease of use. So no longer is it taking me, twice the amount of time in order to edit a video. Usually I'm only seeing about a 50% increase in editing time compared to the actual recording time, which is phenomenally better because I literally have to go through and watch the video itself and edit and modify accordingly. In Lightworks, it would take a lot more time. The process of setting things up and copying things over to be repeated in the same way was not quite as simple. Resolve, there's a whole lot of ease. You can actually copy and paste. You could copy and paste across projects. There's a lot of things that it does much better than Lightworks. Maybe not necessarily as powerful as Lightworks, but definitely much more user-friendly to a streamer and someone who posts Let's Plays on YouTube. With the editor change, we've also cleaned up our intro. So as you can tell, based on some of the videos compared to earlier videos, even though it's still a very similar format, I can create some really nice transitions into the videos. And we've also created an outro that has my Twitter, my Twitch username, and my YouTube name, just in case that video is caught elsewhere on Twitch or somewhere else. An outro is something I've wanted to do for some time, but honestly, it was with Lightworks, it was always much more difficult to plug that in at the back end. Again, with Resolve, it's a lot easier just to copy that over, no problem. And again, the transitions work great. With those changes, I've actually completely dropped recording through Shadowplay, NVIDIA Shadow Player. So what does that mean? Well, I'm using OBS now exclusively for recording. Now, there are some things that are better and worse with OBS. The worst part is that it's not capturing at the actual video card, which means things aren't one from one exactly as I see on the screen. However, OBS Studio allows me to do a lot more tweaking to what I'm doing, as well as giving me a lot more power over how I record and how I transition between scenes as necessary for streaming purposes. And honestly, it doesn't make sense to record in Shadowplay, but then stream using OBS, especially if I want to record at the same time. There's going to be an inconsistency with the quality of how it's recorded with Shadowplay versus OBS, and you might see that between videos just keeps bouncing back and forth. I don't want that to happen, so I've completely dropped Shadowplay and just using OBS Studio. Lastly, with the update to the new editor, I have gone through and completely overhauled all my thumbnails for all of my playthroughs. There used to be screenshots where I would actually just screen cap a particular point in that particular playthrough and use that as my thumbnail with some words or numbers added in. Instead, I've gone to a more static image, mainly because Deus Ex was giving me almost nothing to screen cap in some instances, and it just looks awful. Not to mention it's a fairly dark and not very colorful game, so the screenshots start looking very similar. So instead I've gone to a static image, I've added the titles to the thumbnail, and I think it looks much better, and it's giving my videos a unique thumbnail that you can identify very quickly as a Jaxom Nautilus video. So I'm very happy with how that came out. What else have we done? We have completed 2 different streams. Psychonauts, which we completed on YouTube Gaming, and Anachronox, which we completed on Twitch. The first video of that was actually finally uploaded yesterday. Awesome. And Anachronox was literally finished today, I think. If I didn't finish it today, it will be done on Friday. But I feel that we're probably right at the end, if not. But yeah, it's been a great experience. I enjoyed Psychonauts and Anachronauts, and I'll go into more detail on those in their particular streams. If you have any questions or comments about how those games were played, they're both blind, of course. I've also posted my first news-ish update with a significant amount of views for Bloodlines 2. Believe it or not, I managed to amass over 400 views in that video, which is far beyond anything I've done thus far with my channel. So thank you so much for taking a look at that video. And for anybody who has subscribed, because honestly, my subscriber count has almost doubled since that video was posted. Anybody who came over because of that video, thank you so much for that subscription. I really do appreciate it. It helps me build the channel, which is super important to me, of course, and important to all of you because it allows me to get that better feedback, better understanding as to what you guys enjoy, as well as hopefully encourage me to up my standards of quality. The last thing of note that I want to put in is that we also completed our Malkavian stream on Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Considering Bloodlines 2 is supposed to be coming out in Q1 of 2020, which is sometime within the next year, I'm anticipating only one more stream for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines before it comes out. So, if you want, you can go ahead and drop a comment below, or again, shoot me a message, whatever you need to. Let me know what particular clan you would like me to play through. So again, first I played as a Ventru on my blind run. Then we did a Malkavian playthrough on our stream for a second play. So the third one would have to be one that is not either one of those clans. So Gangrel, Nosferatu, Toreador, Tremere, I think I'm missing one, Bruja. Is that everybody? I feel like I'm still missing one more. But anyway, any of those, just, let me know. I would be more than happy to get feedback from you guys. I would normally put up a straw poll, but last time I did a straw poll, I got 1 vote. So I don't have a lot of hope on straw polls, but if you could just drop a comment and let me know. That way I know what's coming up. As I get closer to that stream time, I will put out another video to check and see what you guys want me to stream as one last time before making that decision. Right, so that's where we've been. Now, the current status of the channel is where we are. So we are currently still playing through Final Fantasy IV. We're in the after years, but we are at the very end of it. There's just been a huge boss gauntlet going on. I'm literally cutting out all the exploration, just putting in the bosses, because this game would be massive otherwise. There's a huge inflation of gameplay time in the after years, and it's driving me nuts. But we're just about done. We're finished. I'm just playing it through my own time, recording boss scenes, like watching videos and shows and stuff as I'm playing through the gameplay portions. We're getting through it. We're almost done. In addition to that, we are still working nostalgia plays. So like I said in the last update video, we're going to be moving nostalgia plays to nostalgia streams. I'm only going to stream those. Speaking of which, Chrono Trigger was not streamed for most of what I've gotten done with it so far. What I'm actually going to do with Chrono Trigger, I'm going to go ahead and nix that current playthrough. I'm going to start fresh with Chrono Trigger and move it to the PC version of the game. I will still stream it over on Twitch with that PC version, but honestly, the game deserves a lot better quality than having it suffer through the significant changes to my channel with equipment quality and recording software that it's already gone through. You would literally watch from beginning to end, and you could tell I've changed microphones like 2 or 3 times, I've changed software, I've changed my equipment. Like, it's bad. So we're just going to start that one fresh, and I'll be getting that out as I have time to do so. We are continuing to post the rain videos. I love the rain videos. I don't know what it is. I think I find some enjoyment out of that myself. So the good news is I will be looking to find different songs from each game that I play through and putting those up as rain videos. So yes, just like Vampire the Masquerade, I will eventually be putting up some Deus Ex rain videos. There's one I have in mind. We'll see if Hong Kong actually works this one. But I don't know if it would actually be a good, relaxing video. We'll have to see how it fits with the rain. But I'm enjoying those, so those are not going to cease. Lastly, we are also working on a new series with my wife, Ralma. We are playing through the Kingdom Hearts series. So we started that a couple months ago. And we are playing through Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. We'll be following up with Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2, as well as all the secondary games that came with it, as we're on the road to Kingdom Hearts 3. We're going to continue that playthrough on the side. So it's going to get updated fairly regularly, but it's not going to be my super main focus. So if we miss a couple weeks where we don't have Kingdom Hearts, I'm just going to be slotting other stuff in there at the same time. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Kingdom Hearts. I know a couple people are watching through them, so appreciate it. As always, give us feedback on how things are going. Yeah. Speaking of where we're going, let's talk about the future of the channel. So the future is actually not a whole lot different than what's going on right now. It's mainly just more the same with added flavor. So the nostalgia streams are still coming up, like I mentioned during the Where We Are segment, but they are unlikely to be planned. So I'm not going to be putting up schedules or anything about those just because they're nostalgia streams. I'm not planning those, so basically when I have time, I'm going to get those streamed. Partly because, honestly, it's easier on me to get that done, and partly because my work schedule is going to become significantly more difficult to work around over the next 8 weeks, since I'm going to be covering a whole nother store as a manager for those 8 weeks, and it's going to just eat up my time during the week. I will continue to record major events of interest in other games that I'm not necessarily playing through. For example, I am currently editing episode Arden from Final Fantasy 15. That will be up by the weekend, so look for that. I'll continue to work through Final Fantasy 14 as well with any major events that I enjoy. Unfortunately, patch 2.56 part 2, which included the Hildebrand storyline, was we lost the footage on that one. Some update happened to Final Fantasy 14 that OBS didn't like, and it took me way too long to figure it out, so we have lost that footage. I'm very sorry. thankfully, it looks like most of you guys don't really watch that, so we're going to be okay. We will be streaming, though, the Final Fantasy 15 crossover with Final Fantasy 14 coming later this month. In the future, I will also not stream anything blind outside of major circumstances, like, for example, Bloodlines 2, or if it has a generally huge interest from the community for me to stream it. Honestly, the main reason, especially with my Deus Ex playthrough, I've noticed, I spend a lot of time getting lost and just kind of wandering around and reading stuff and staring at things and figuring things out on my own pace. And honestly, it does not make for very intriguing gameplay. I feel like it's a better capture of the playthrough for me to cut out those meanderings so that you find more enjoyment, get more entertainment faster. Now, for some of you, you may want to see that stream, but honestly, unless the majority of the channel community wants to see me stream blind games, you're not going to see those anymore. Again, outside of major circumstances like Bloodlines 2 and the huge interest from the community. And lastly, for where we're going, I'm going to be sticking with Twitch for the foreseeable future. YouTube gaming did not have the impact I hoped, so we'll be taking YouTube gaming out of the equation, moving primarily to Twitch for random streaming as well as my nostalgia playthroughs. And I'll still be recording as I do that, so I'll be getting those recorded events up on YouTube, like episode Arden and the Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 14 crossover that's coming up as well. Just, it did not go well, so I'm sorry, but we will not be streaming anymore on YouTube gaming unless something significant happens. In addition to that, there's also the fact that I went back and reviewed different streams, and it does look like every other video from my Malkavian playthrough on Twitch was a copyright claim by YouTube, which means there's a strong possibility that during my stream of that particular game, I could have had some major impact from YouTube stopping, muting, or just messing up my stream, which I don't want to have happen. And there we have it. That is the most recent update to the state of the channel. I don't really have a whole lot of feedback for you guys to pull from here, other than, of course, let me know what clan you'd like me to play through eventually with Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines on my future stream. But yeah, if there's anything here of interest, anything you want to comment, if you have any questions, by all means, I'm trying to keep this open two-way communication. With the influx of subscribers I had, this may be the first time you're actually seeing one of these. So again, please let me know any feedback you have on how this played out, as well as any experience you've had with the channel that you want me to address and or clarify. So I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming by and watching the State of the Channel update. We'll have another one in about 3 months, unless we'll have one of those little let's updates that happen in the middle when I need to give information out really fast, and I just don't have the time for something like this. So that's it. Thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a great day. Take care, and I will catch you next time.